Coming up tonight on the news at 6.
It's really a full, ultimate recycling.
What the next big step in the cleanup at the former Asarco smelter site in East Helena will look like. Plus, after the state removed more than 24 kids in 2019, the Ranch for Kids has had its license permanently suspended. We have the details tonight.
From Montana's news leader, this is MTN News at 6.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the News at 6. I'm Andy Curtis, and thank you for joining us. Well, the next big step is coming in the cleanup at the former Asarco smelter site in East Helena, and it will mean a major change in the familiar profile of the smelter's slag pile. MTN's Jonathan Ambarian has more details on the plans to remove millions of tons of material.
For decades, this slag pile has been a fixture of the East Helena landscape, but in 5 years it could look far different. Leaders say a New York company has agreed to remove 2 million tons of the slag and ship it out to be reprocessed. The EPA and Montana Environmental Trust Group announced the plans during a public meeting Tuesday night. Metallica Commodities will crush the slag on site, then send it by train to Longview, Washington, and from there to South Korea by ship. A Korean company will extract zinc and other metals and use the leftover material for cement.
It's really a full, ultimate recycling project.
Cleanup work at the smelter site has been going on for years, and the slag pile is one of the last main areas to be addressed. Leaders say they've already seen improvements in groundwater quality around East Helena, and the slag that will be removed is the largest remaining source of selenium contamination.
For us, this is really a source removal project. It's a project to remove primary source of contamination that's still out there.
The material that's moved will only be a fraction of the pile's volume, but it could reduce its height by around half.
That's always been something important to the city of East Helena. So there will be a visible change in the landscape in East Helena.
The trust group is also highlighting other plans for the smelter site, from progress toward a greenway trail system to new housing developments on surrounding parcels. Leaders say Montana Rail Link is already working on a new siding to reach the project area. They expect the first shipment of slag to go out next spring. In East Helena, Jonathan Ambarian, MTN News.
The trust group says that they do not expect the operations to cause significant noise or dust for the East Helena community. The operator will be working under an air permit from the state. Now with a look at our weather, Chief Meteorologist Curtis Grevenitz.
Well, looky what we have here. A few snowflakes out there. It does snow in Montana in December. See? Up to sunburst. We got the Christmas decorations up, and you can see a couple of those flakes of snow flying up here on the High Line. From around the glacier area, Marias Pass, and out the High Line to around the Havre area into the Bear Paw Mountains, looking at a little in the way of some flurries coming through. Now, I showed this last night. I want to go back to this global satellite, and we've got the ridge of high pressure, which is finally breaking down. Gave another beautiful day here for most of the state, but a front is coming through. We've got a little area of low pressure moving through, but count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 areas of low pressure here, and these storm systems will be coming east. I'm going to call it strength in numbers here with the low pressures coming through. There's a lot of them. What will that mean for Montana and possibly snow? We'll take a look at that coming up in the forecast. One solo sunny day tomorrow. After that, those storms coming in, we'll see at least a lot more cloud cover and lots of little amounts of that. Over the next week or so, we'll talk about how much you can expect as far as accumulation cumulatively. That's coming up in the forecast.
State and locally reported data shows Montana's COVID-19 case total is now nearing 71,000. Just under 17,000 of those cases are considered active cases, and currently 804 Montanans have died as a result of complications with the virus. Now, MTN is using a combination of sources to deliver the most accurate count on cases each day. Local county health departments may be alerted to cases before Montana DPHHS. The Ranch for Kids in Lincoln County, where state officials removed more than 24 kids in July of 2019, has had its license permanently suspended. The Montana Department of Health and Human Services announced today that an administrative law judge has ruled in favor of actions taken by state officials against the Rexford youth camp. Now, the children ranging in age from 11 to 17 were removed from the ranch due to allegations of egregious, chronic, and persistent child abuse and neglect. DPHHS Chief Legal Counsel tells MTN News that state health officials interviewed more than 100 witnesses during the investigation, presenting 40 witnesses at trial, further saying the owners of the Ranch for Kids will not be allowed to apply for another license here in the state of Montana. He went on to say that the decision to permanently suspend their license is a win for the state of Montana and victims of child abuse and neglect.
A lot of the significance is that we worked with a lot of these former participants who were kids at the time and are now young adults and stuff. They had a very strong interest in making sure that the things they experienced didn't happen again.
The State Health Department notes that the decision lists numerous activities that occurred at Ranch for Kids that violated state law, including the use of abusive disciplinary walks, including having participants walk extreme distances, often at night and in the wilderness without weather-appropriate clothing or footwear, physical and verbal abuse of participants, and failure to report sexual abuse between participants and individuals who had direct access to participants. The use of restricting food for participants and withholding medical attention for participants, including for those who were expressing suicidal thoughts. You can find a full list of the violations on our website, ktvh.com. And 2 years ago, MTN News reported on a substantial reorganization of the State Corrections Department and how some employees felt it was a form of retaliation against those who had criticized the director and top management. Now, a former employee's human rights complaint stemming from those moves is finally coming to a head. MTN's Mike Dennison, who wrote the initial stories, tells us about this latest development.
In a 2018 reorganization at the State Department of Corrections, the agency's Government Relations Director, Adrienne Cotton, had her position eliminated. Several months earlier, she had accused Department Director Reg Michael of sexual harassment and said her dismissal was a form of retaliation. Cotton made that claim in a human rights complaint filed against the state. And next Monday, that complaint finally gets a formal hearing before a State Department of Labor hearings officer in Helena. The hearing is expected to run several days, and the witness list includes Cotton, Michael, former DOC employees, and Governor Steve Bullock's former chief of staff, who signed off on the 2018 reorganization. The Corrections Department declined to comment this week, but Michael has consistently denied the charges, and the Bullock administration says a personnel investigation did not substantiate them either. It also has said the reorganization in no way targeted any specific employees. Cotton and other former employees think differently, and some may testify at the hearing. They say the reorganization, in part, was meant to get rid of employees who had criticized agency management as ineffective, or who had expressed support for accusations that Michael had harassed or mistreated women at the office. Cotton's initial complaint was rejected last year by the head of the State Human Rights Bureau. But in a rare move, the full State Human Rights Commission on Cotton's appeal decided to reinstate the complaint, leading eventually to next week's hearing. The hearing begins at 9 a.m. Monday. Reporting from Helena, Mike Dennison, MTN News.
Now, if the hearings officer rules in Cotton's favor, she could be awarded damages. Cotton has also filed a separate wrongful discharge lawsuit, which has been on hold while the human rights complaint proceeds. And still ahead on the news at 6, the state of Montana is joining an antitrust lawsuit against Facebook, accusing the text giant of wiping out its rivals.
From Montana's news leader, you're watching MTN News at 6.
Welcome back, everyone. 17 states on Wednesday asked the U.S. Supreme Court to accept a new lawsuit that is attempting to invalidate Democrat Joe Biden's electoral victory in 4 key states. And Montana is one of the states doing the asking. Montana Attorney General Tim Fox says the odds of the High Court accepting the late lawsuit filed by Texas are slim at best. But the Republican AG said the case raises, quote, important constitutional questions about the integrity of mail-in ballots in Georgia, Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, and Michigan. The suit filed this week by Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton says the 62 electoral votes from those states should be invalidated, thus giving the presidency to Donald Trump. All 17 states asking the Supreme Court to take the case were won by Trump and have Republican attorneys general. President Trump is also attempting to intervene in the case. Many legal experts across the country have said the Texas lawsuit is without merit and that Texas does not even have standing to challenge votes in other states. The filing joined by Montana was written by Missouri Attorney General Eric Schmidt. And Montana has also joined federal regulators and 47 other state attorney generals in filing antitrust lawsuits against Facebook, accusing the tech giant of wiping out its rivals. The suit alleges that Facebook would buy or suffocate competitors or possible competitors. NBC's Dan Sheneman reports.
Social media giant Facebook accused by 48 state attorneys general and the Federal Trade Commission of illegally stifling competition.
For nearly a decade, Facebook has used its dominance and monopoly power to crush smaller rivals and snuff out competition, all at the expense of everyday users.
Lawsuits announced today say the company used its vast resources to buy potential competitors like Instagram and WhatsApp.
Facebook used vast amounts of money to acquire smaller rivals and potential rivals before they could threaten the company's dominance.
The suits also allege the company suffocated other rivals.
They're saying you might be smart, but you still acted anti-competitively. You still broke the law. You identified a competitor and you aggressively moved to make sure they weren't a threat to you.
The federal suit calls for WhatsApp and Instagram to be separated from Facebook.
No company should have this much unchecked power.
Facebook responded saying, years after the FTC cleared our acquisitions, the government now wants a do-over with no regard for the impact that precedent would have on the broader business community or the people who choose our products every day. Facebook is the world's largest social network with an estimated 2.7 billion users. Dan Sheneman, NBC News.
And now with another check on our weather, Chief Meteorologist Curtis Grebenitz.
Well, it's getting a little colder out there, but not Arctic cold. The really cold stuff will stay on off towards the north. However, it's up there. It's not that far away, and it's something that I'll be watching. Maybe as we get a little closer to Christmas, we could see some of that Arctic air moving in. One of the forecasts coming up next.
Storm Tracker weather starts now with Chief Meteorologist Curtis Grebenitz.
All right, welcome back, everybody. A little light snow continues to fall in the northern parts of the state, and until about 11 o'clock, you can see this area will be under a winter weather advisory. If you're wondering what the white is, that is a special weather statement from the Weather Service, basically just saying, hey, there's a little light snow out here across the north central part of the state. There you can see some of that snow. A few flakes in and around Great Falls, and I think certainly east of Great Falls, out there around Highwood and Belt, into the Highwood Mountains, maybe around Geraldine, even between Geyser and Rainsford, there will be a little snow. Fort Benton and up there around Loma, a little light snow as well. East Glacier, Browning, Hart Butte, Valier, down through about Bynum and Depuyer, looking at a little light snow, a moderate snow around Shelby right now. Some of this may have started out as a bit of rain going over to snow. Temperatures dropping tonight down below the freezing point. Watch out for a few icy spots. Another spot that could pick up maybe 1 or 2 inches of snow up there around Box Elder over to about Rocky Boy. The Bear Paw Mountains picking up a little light accumulation of snow here tonight. Elsewhere, also a little light snow moving through the northeast, but for the most part, once again, the country is dry and quiet. That is about to change. Those 7 areas of low pressure out there in the Pacific and just moving into the western U.S., those are going to start coming through the country here over the next several days. The first system, just this little light snowmaker here. Again, a few of you watching north central Montana may have a coating up to 1 inch of snow. Watch out for some slick roads. But basically, Thursday looking at increasing sunshine and another bright December day here for a lot of the state. Now heading into Friday, there'll be this little disturbance coming through and we'll likely see a little snow here through Friday afternoon and Friday evening. Again, little and light, but several rounds of light snow as we go through this weekend into next week. So you can see Friday evening into Saturday morning, Saturday afternoon. That next little system moving out. Sunday starts out dry. but then there will be a couple of mixed rain and snow showers with some milder Pacific air coming in. Again, nothing too heavy here on Sunday. Now, Sunday night into Monday may be a skosh more significant here, maybe 1 to 3 inches of snow Sunday night into Monday for parts of central Montana. The mountains will not do so bad here from all this. I'll show you that in the snowfall forecast coming up. Still into Tuesday, a couple of snow showers, and then possibly have to watch into Wednesday and Thursday. So certainly a lot more activity than what we've seen here recently. Now, as far as the snow goes, tonight into tomorrow morning, really, again, just the north central part of the state. Helena not seeing much of any at all around Great Falls, maybe a little coating of snow here. Here we go into Friday. Again, just a little light snow in the western part of the state, all the way into Sunday night and Monday. There may be a little more, but here's the Continental Divide, and most of that snow will be along and west of the Divide, and the mountains also down there around the Tetons getting hit pretty hard. But by about this time next week, you may be looking at as much as 2 to 3 inches of snow cumulative out of all these little rounds of snow coming through. Nothing really that big. Tonight, some snow. Watch out for some slick spots across north central Montana. Lows getting down below the freezing point here, so could be a little slick. Lewistown, a little light snow tonight into tomorrow morning. And again, Helena maybe up there, Great Divide, down around Boulder. It could be a couple of snow showers. That's about it. For Thursday, tomorrow, a few clouds, maybe a few snow showers tomorrow morning, but increasing sunshine through the afternoon. Another very nice sunny December day. Into Friday, there's that little disturbance coming through, a little light snow around Lewistown, Helena, Great Falls, up the Rocky Mountain front on the other side of the Divide as well. Light in the afternoon and the evening. Saturday, a little light snow moving out. We'll have a little increasing sunshine through the day after a couple of snow showers in the morning. And then Sunday, here comes this next system that could bring a little light snow Sunday night into Monday. So a lot of activity, not a lot of snow. That looks like a lot of snow with a chance on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday in Helena. But again, totals by the time we get into this time next week, maybe 1 to 3 inches in the Helena Valley. A little more in the hills around town. For Great Falls, some snow tonight. Careful of those slick roads. A little light snow on Friday into Saturday as well.
Thanks, Curtis. And coming up next, the Carroll College women's basketball team's schedule is changing quite a bit this week. How the Lady Saints are rolling with the punches. Coming up next.
Montana's news leader. You're watching MTN News at 6.
Welcome back, everyone. Yesterday, Carroll College basketball announced that its upcoming series against Rocky Mountain College has been canceled due to COVID-19 precautions. This announcement comes shortly after the Fighting Saints found out that their series against Montana Tech has been postponed. Women's head coach Rochelle Sayers noted that this season has and will continue to be a roller coaster for her and her team. This season has shown how resilient her players are, though.
From an X&O standpoint, we're not anywhere near where I thought we would be at this point, but I think we're a lot further along as a team and from a maturity standpoint than really probably any team I've coached.
And though this season has proven it will be challenging, Sayers said that she thinks there are certainly some positives that can be taken away from it.
I think all of us will kind of go back to this year and realize that a lot of positives came out of it, even though it's hard to feel that now. I do feel like we appreciate the opportunities much more than maybe another year where we're practicing day after day.
The next game on the Fighting Saints calendar is scheduled for later this month, with conference games starting after the first of the year. And we will wrap things up here when we come back.
From Montana's news leader, you're watching MTN News at 6.
Welcome back, everybody. Wrapping things up tonight with this story. National Geographic wants to showcase the planned mission to put a woman on the moon for the first time. National Geographic ordered the series tentatively called Return to the Moon. It will capture NASA's program that will send the first woman and the next man to the lunar surface in 2024. National Geographic says shooting will take 4 years, right up until the lunar launch. But the company says it hopes that the story inspires others and shows the power of imagination. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you back here tonight at 10.